Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Brokers and Analysts Conference of Rajesh Power Services Limited, that is RPSL, to discuss the upcoming SME IPO. Before we proceed with today's call, we will start with playing the corporate video of Rajesh Power Services Limited. Thank you.
India is accelerating towards becoming a $10 trillion economy in the next decade. The vision of economic transformation will drive India's power sector to an era of unprecedented growth, with rising demand from diverse sectors, including industrial, residential, and logistics. India's power sector, the world's third largest and among the most diversified power producers and consumers, will invest substantially to make energy available, affordable, accessible, and sustainable to more than 1.4 billion Indians around the clock. This opportunity unveils a new gateway for growth for integrated and highly specialized power infrastructure players nationwide. We are Rajesh Power Services Limited, led by a rich legacy, energized by demonstrated capabilities, and poised to transform the future. An unmatched legacy of determination and trust. Our journey began in 1971 in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, founded by three visionary first-generation entrepreneurs. With the leadership of second-generation pioneers, Orang Panchal and Rajendra Patel, the company grew into a key player in Gujarat's transmission and distribution sector, delivering integrated solutions from EHV substations to underground networks. Now, the third generation, represented by young technocrats, Utsav Panchal and Kaksil Patel, continues to fuel our growth ambitions. Empowered by experienced promoters, diversified leaders, and 1,030 skilled employees nationwide. A belief to excel based on demonstrated achievements. As a pioneer in underground power transmission and distribution for many decades, we constantly expand our capabilities across the power infrastructure sector. Today, we provide integrated solutions, including turnkey projects, O&M, utility services, cable testing, design and consultancy for top-tier clients. In 2012, we diversified into solar with a 1 megawatt plant in Gujarat's Surendranagar district. Our certifications, including ISO and OHSAS, reflect our unwavering commitment to quality and safety. Technology has fueled our rise to new heights. We invest in advanced equipment and cutting-edge softwares to ensure transparency, execution excellence, cost leadership, and unmatched quality. Our state-of-the-art equipment includes a cable fault detection van for precise on-site diagnostics and a SCADA system for streamlined operations. Additionally, our investment in HKRP Innovations, a leader in IoT and smart cloud solutions for power grids and renewables, anticipating a bright future. At Rajesh Power, we've earned a reputation for excellence by executing notable projects and building strong relationships with top clients across public and private sectors. As a leading player in Gujarat, 96% of revenues, we have also expanded into Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand to drive pan-India growth ambitions. Our performance headlines are our capabilities, a revenue of 313 crore and a PAT of rupees 27.68 crore, half-year ending financial year 25. Our robust order book stands at rupees 2,358.17 crore as on 30th July 2024. We have now set our sights on going public. Our IPO comprises a fresh issue of 27,90,000 equity shares and an OFS of up to 20 lakh equity shares through the book building route. ISK Advisors is the sole book running lead manager responsible for the issue, with Big Share Services as the registrar. We intend to utilize the net proceeds to upgrade capital equipment, set up a 1300 kilowatt DC solar power plant, foray into green hydrogen, and meet additional working capital requirements. This initiative will set us on a new path of expanding our capabilities and ambitions as a growth-ready, integrated, customized, diverse power infrastructure player in India. It's time to move ahead. It's time to energize possibilities. It's time to think of us. We are Rajesh Power Services Limited, lighting up the future.
Thank you. Let us begin with the introductions first. We have with us today Mr. Kurang Panchal, Promoter and Managing Director, Mr. Rajendra Patel, Promoter and Whole-Time Director, Mr. Kakshil Patel, Promoter, Director and CFO, and Mr. Utsav Panchal, Promoter, Director and CEO from Rajesh Power Services Limited. ISK Advisors Private Limited are the book running lead manager to the issue, and Mr. Ronak Kadri, Director at ISK Advisors Private Limited, is also present on the call with us. At this moment, all participants are in the listen only mode. Later, we will conduct a question and answer session. At that time, you may click on the Q&A tab to ask a live question. Please note that this conference is being recorded. Rajesh Power Services Limited's IPO comprises a total of 47,90,000 equity shares, of which 20 lakh equity shares are on offer for sale by promoters and 27,90,000 equity shares as a fresh issue. The price band is set between rupees 319 to rupees 335, and the anchor book opens today, that is November 22, 2024. The issue opens on November 25, 2024 and closes on November 27, 2024. The issue would list on BSE SME platform, and to discuss more on it, I would now like to request Mr. Kurang Panchal, Promoter and Managing Director, to share the opening remarks and insights about the company. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, I'm Kurang Panchal. Just a change in introduction because Rajendra Patel is not here. So myself is Kurang Panchal. Next to me is Utsav. Next to Utsav is Nikita. She is our finance head. And next to Nikita is Kakshi. So four of us are there. I'll start. In fact, we have been missing. I mean, most of them they are from Mumbai, no? Anyway, I'm Kurang Panchal. Just a brief introduction of the company that we started our journey way back in 1971. It was started by my father as well as Mr. Kakshil's grandfather. We are basically a partnership company between Panchal and Patels. My generation is a second generation. Now third generation has taken over Utsav and Kakshil. Uh, Fortunately, by the virtue of government policies, by the virtue of MOPs directive, in this sector, underground cabling is mainly focused on particularly Gujarat region as well as all major metros. And we are one of the leading contractors for the undergrounding cable. That is our expertise. So uh, last year, of course, our revenue is good. This year, 6 monthly results are all good. Uh, we cannot disclose, but we almost close at around double the figure of last year. But uh, and I'll just hand over the rest of the things to Utsav because I need to go to bank. And today, one good news I'll share with you: we close our anchor book very healthy and with a good investors. Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to request Mr. Utsav Panchal, Promoter, Director and CEO, to take us through the investor presentation. Over to you,
Yeah,
sir.
just okay. So basically, sir has given an idea about the company. Basically, I'll just take you through the brief of the presentation. This is the elevator pitch slide. So our company started in 1971 as a trading business. Myself and Mr. Kakshil's grandfather started this legacy. We are proud to be here today. At present, we are one of the leading power EPC contractors in the transmission and distribution space. Uh, we we have on employment over 1,000 people. We have supplied more than 4,000 switchgear RMUs throughout Gujarat. We have majority of our revenue contribution from Gujarat. The rest is from Rajasthan. 6 monthly we have closed at 313 crore of revenue and an 11.4% of EBITDA. This is the promoter's profile, Mr. Kurang Panchal, the managing director of the company. Mr. Rajendra Patel is from the second generation. He is the whole-time director of the company. Mr. Kakshil Patel is here with us, and I am Utsav Panchal. So, as we converted our company from private limited to limited, we have employed, we have on board 3 independent directors, and all the promoters of the company are actively involved in the business functions. The organization structure is shown for the reference. So, talking about our services in details, we are present in three categories of services. Major chunk of our revenues is the engineering and turnkey projects. So turnkey projects, we are mainly into extra high voltage underground cables as well as overhead transmission lines. Overhead transmission lines, we are present in the sector, but our major unique selling point, our major strength is the underground cables up to 220 kV. We as Rajesh Power can proudly say that we are one of the leading players in the country to have a very good kilometers and kilometers of experience of laying underground cables. We are also into extra high voltage substations. We have erected more than 220 kV gas insulated substation, which is a very high technology substation. It's a very good experience to have in the Indian industry at present, looking at the opportunities. We are also into turnkey execution of medium voltage, high voltage, and low voltage distribution system. This is mainly involved with the distribution companies of the western part of the country. Mainly discoms of Gujarat are UGVCL, PGVCL, DGVCL, and MGVCL. Along with that, we are actively working with Torrent Power Limited, Gift Power Company Limited, and Adani Electricity also. We are also into execution of solar projects, in the sense that we help in evacuating the power from all the solar projects to the grid. Along with this infra EPC services, we are also into O&M, where we maintain the network for our clients, the distribution network for our clients. Also, the category of consultancy service means that we are involved right from the design stage of the project until the commissioning stage of the project. We have an in-house design team who designs all the cable systems, the entire project. This is a brief about the ongoing projects that are there. These are recently completed projects. Our focus on new energy, we have been involved in since 2012, when Chief Minister Narendra Modi brought a 600 megawatt scheme in Gujarat. That was one of the first and one of the largest schemes brought in India, where we have done a PPA for 1 megawatt with PGVCL for 25 years. That is a solar plant that we own and operate. And other than that, all the clients that you see over here, we have helped them evacuate the power from their solar power plant until the grid. This is the glimpse, this is just the photos of the projects executed for underground cable as well as substation as well as distribution systems. So all the private clients that you see here, I wanted to stress on the point that we have done option 3 work, in the sense that whenever a new company visits Gujarat, he is setting up a plant in Gujarat, they would obviously require a plant, a power. They would require power in bulk. So we are, as Rajesh Power, are the facilitator, the vendor, a trusted partner to all these private clients in facilitation of power infrastructure, providing of power infrastructure from the grid, the JETCO, the transmission grid, until their factory premises. This is a revenue bifurcation. We have orders in hand of around 2,300 crore. This is the performance that we have closed at 284 crore into FY24, and we have closed 313 crore as of 6 monthly September revenue. We have also invested strategically a 26% contribution in HKRP Innovations Limited. It provides customized IT solutions in all the sectors that we operate in. They have been able to provide innovative software as well as hardware solutions for the grid management, the power grid management. India's industry is bound to grow, as we all know. The power is going to be a key player for the next 15 to 20 years, and we are hopeful. We are expecting to grow along with that. These are our competitive strengths. These are the growth strategies. So, coming to the object of the issue, we are planning to have a capital expenditure of totaling 25 crore, out of which we are purchasing equipments uh, for our cable identification, underground cable testing, and facilitation of our existing business around 17.9 crore. We are also planning to set up a 4 crore power plant for 1.3 megawatt, and we are also planning to develop in-house expertise, the technical expertise and technical know-how related to grey nitrogen and electrolyzer. Other than that, we would have 30 crore of working capital. This is the details of the issue. This is the shareholding. This is the peer group comparison. These are our peers and competitors. This is the SWOT analysis. I think that was it about the company. Now I'll be happy to take any questions.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. To ask a question, please click on the QA tab on the panel and click on Raise Hand button. The operator will announce your name when it is your turn to ask a question. Please accept the prompt on your screen and unmute your microphone while proceeding with your question. You may also post your text questions. We will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We'll take a text question from Amit Malu from Collab. What is the revenue split between private clients and government? Also, isn't there any geographical risk since chunk of revenues comes from Gujarat?
Sure. So talking about the revenue split, majorly we are operating with government clients, where privately we are mainly operating with Apar Industries Limited for the distribution system. For transmission, as I said, there are so many private clients that we have been operating with who are planning to set up new factories, new premises in Gujarat or expanding their factories. Uh, yeah, we are also working with Torrent. So I think the split between government and private should be a 75-25 or 80-20. The 80 being government and 20 being private.
Thank you. Ladies and
Uh,
gentlemen,
another question so yeah, we are talking about geographical risk. I should tell you that the Gujarat discoms, if you see in the Ministry of Power ranking since 20 years, they have been performing in the top 4 or 5 discoms in the country. That is one. Secondly, we are also expanding our footprints outside Gujarat. That is, we are working in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Uttarakhand. Yes, I think that is
Thank
all.
you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please click on the raise hand icon available on your toolbar. We have one more text question from Bhuvan MG from Tiger Assets. What is the revenue split between the services?
Uh, बोल. Services, we are mainly the transmission sector and distribution sector. We are providing the services. The split is around uh, 65 to 70% in distribution sector, and balance 30-35% in the transmission sector.
Thank you. We have a live question from Vikas Jain from Reliance Securities. Mr. Jain, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So, basically, you said that you had some 2,300 crores of order book, and out of which 55-58% is with UGBCL and 25% with APAR. So, within what time frame this whole order book will be executable, and any change in the margins with respect to working with the private players and working with the government player parties?
Sir, two aspects.
No, sir, margin are mostly same. And to attend your first question, 18 to 24. Okay, the average size of order for execution is 18 to 24.
18 to
24 months,
18 to
depending
24.
on the contracts.
Okay. Okay, thank you. If I have any more questions, I'll line up in the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please click on the raise hand tab available on the toolbar. You may also post your text questions. We have a follow-up question from Vikas Jain from Reliance Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you
Uh,
once again. So, can
yeah.
you throw some light on this acquisition of your HKRP Innovations Limited more? Is there any arm's and length relationship with the company which you acquire? And what are the revenue potentials you are looking at going forward?
No, sir, there is no in between company related things. And the HKRP is mainly into the IIoT based hardware or data logger manufacturing plus the services of the IT network of the total grid. Matlab, they are providing the remote monitoring system for the centralized SCADA purpose of the grid, where we are into the infrastructure. So we do the forward integration by acquisition of them.
Where this company is located? HKRP, Ahmedabad
It
based?
is from Ahmedabad only,
Okay.
and
And
it
what was
is
the
very
sales?
heavily order book also.
What was the revenue for the last 2 or 3 years? Say?
Last year revenue is 130 CR with a PAT margin of 20%. 26 CR is the net profit.
Okay.
23-24.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a text question from Bhuvan MG from Tiger Assets. How many orders are under pipeline?
So basically, all the orders that we have written in orders in hand sheet, as well as additional orders that we have received after filing of the DRHP, they are in pipeline. Physical execution has been started for a limited number of projects, but as the question, I believe I cannot disclose the exact amount of the new orders because that will be disclosing after listing process.
Thank you. We have one more text question from Jatin Chawla from RTL Investments. Who are your key competitors in Gujarat in your field?
So in Gujarat, we are operating in the transmission as well as distribution field. In the transmission field, we have competitors like Universal Cables Limited, like Ohm Power Transmission Private Limited, Kintec Synergy Limited, and such players in the transmission industry, KEC International. Uh, in the distribution business, we have competitors like Monte Carlo Limited, like probably L&T also bids for some projects.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please click on the raise hand icon tab available on your toolbar. You may also post your text questions. There's a text question from Amit Malu from Collab. Your FY24 PAT margin jumped significantly from previous year. Any particular reason for this? Was this a one-off?
Yeah, so basically, if you see, the government of Gujarat mainly uh, was operating whenever there is a government tender, there are estimated rates calculated by the agency, the utility, the consumer. They are called SOR, schedule of rates, that they consider while putting a requirement a tender. It's a list of 600, 700 items. They were operating previously at a schedule of rates of 2015-16. In 2022 and 23, they changed the schedule of rates, due to which bidding process became more contractor friendly, in the sense that we were able to get little higher margins on that. Plus, our revenues have significantly, if you see percentage wise also, value wise also, they have increased compared to the previous year, in the sense that with the same number of resources, we are operating in that revenue. That those are the reasons our PAT margin has jumped.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please click on the raise hand icon tab available on your screen. You may also post your text questions. We have a live question from Chirag Kacharia from Ashika Institutional Equities. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have two questions. One is with respect to that 13 kilowatt of solar plant which we are going, DC solar plant which we're going to install from the raised fund, the purpose of the same. And second, what initiatives and plans we have with respect to this H2 green hydrogen from the raised fund? Yeah.
Sir, actually, we are demonstrating the solar plant for the demonstration purpose of the new scheme, techno-commercial viability, and for the other hydrogen, we are currently gaining the technical expertise of the manufacturing of electrolyzer, which is used in green hydrogen. So that way we are able to tap the market when it started rolling out.
Okay. And one more follow-up. So, you mentioned that in transmission we face competition from players like KEC International. So, KEC also work with some of our clients at national level. Okay. So, is are they follow the mechanism like they diversify the vendors like us in transmission, so they mitigate the risk of concentration from a particular single contractor like us. Are we moving with the same set of client in other state where we expanding, like in Maharashtra, you mentioned, then Rajasthan and UP and all?
So basically, the clients for any EPC transmission company are the transmission utilities of the state. They are called STU, State Transmission Utility, as well as CTU, Central Transmission Utilities, one power grid. State transmission utilities, each state has one utility. So probably for everyone operating in this geography, the customer is one only. So we are targeting other states. Yes, the customers, the client list will be the same because they are government controlled.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, to ask a question, please click on the raise hand icon tab available on your screen. You may also post your text questions.
I think that will be all.
Uh, 1 second. So I'll just remind once again. Participants who wish to ask a question may click on the raise hand icon tab available on your screen, or you may also post your text questions. Yes, we have a text question from Amit Malu from Colab. Can you elaborate on some vendors you work with? Is there any concentration risk there?
So we are majorly operating with uh, different sets of vendors for any one type of requirement. Like for cable, we buy regular cables with many companies. Like we buy it with Torrent cables based in Nadia. We buy it from Sterlite Power Transmission Limited. They are based in Haridwar. We buy from Avocab. We buy from Polycab. We have a Havels. We buy from a diverse set of, because we have a huge requirement for those particular items. Like RMUs, we buy with MNCs like Siemens, Lucy, and Eaton. Eaton is a American multinational. So I don't think there is a concentration risk and dependency on one particular vendor.
Thank you. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Ronak Kadri at ISK Advisors Private Limited for closing comments. Over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining the today's call and taking part. There were very active questions, very interesting answers, and I am sure that Rajesh Power Services, which is going to open its initial public offering for the public from Monday 25th of November and closing on 27th. Uh, the company is working in a very good sector, which is power. The geography where they are working is Gujarat and trying to expand in other states also. Uh, the strong order book that company is having, we are confident that the company has a good future, and the idea of the government and India business community to grow further, where power will be the utmost primary need as an infrastructure along with road and port infrastructure. Uh, Renewable is also the push where the government is pushing the in the power sector, where we see that Rajesh Power is present in all the uh, entire ecosystem of power sector. We wish that the company grows further, and the investors who participate in the upcoming IPO grow their wealth and show their trust for being with us for the long term. That's it from my end. Thank you for once again for joining this call today, and we look forward for your participation to power the Rajesh Power's IPO. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Rajesh Power Services Limited, that concludes today's session. Thank you for your participation. You may now click on the exit meeting to disconnect.